and the beginning of the 20th, the county fair was the major event of the summer for many in Dutchess County and elsewhere. It still is. There was only one other great event that surpassed it in the hearts and minds of all people, and that was Christmas in the wintertime. As soon as the fair was over, women began to plan to use new recipes for bread, rolls, cakes, jelly, pickles, canned fruit, vegetables, and other food for which they hoped to win awards in the next fair. They also looked for new designs for the patchwork quilt, new stitches to use in knitting caps, scarves, sweaters, socks, gloves, and mittens, which they would make during the coming winter and exhibit at the next fair. The women of the households made tablecloths which they embroidered beautifully, bedspreads, sheets, pillowcases, and towels. The best of their handiwork they planned to exhibit at the fair, and their anticipation of their success they hoped to have, and the awards they hoped to win, kept them in high spirits. The women made much of the clothing worn by the different members of their families, and they hoped that some of the garments would be suitable to be exhibited at the fair. The menfolk were as excited as the women over their exhibits at the next fair. They decided on the different kinds of corn, grain, and hay that they would raise and exhibit. They would select and prepare the hogs, sheep, and cattle which they planned to exhibit. They also planned to exhibit pumpkins, turnips, apples, pears, and other kinds of fruit and vegetables. At one fair, a man from Clinton Corners exhibited a pumpkin that weighed 100 pounds. A Mr. Bates of Nabisville raised potatoes that weighed 2 pounds and earned for himself the name of Potato Bates. Flax was raised in the county in the early days, and the women wove their own linen. They also made many of the dyes with which to color the cloth they exhibited at the fair. There was always some breathtaking event at the fair that the spectators remembered all of their lives. Thomas Lossing, son of the historian Benson J. Lossing, wrote of one such event that took place during the 1880s. At that time, a pretty young lady ascended into the wild blue yonder in a balloon, while the spectators watched, frozen in their tracks with horror. Fortunately, the young lady landed safely a short time later in Pond Gut. Lossing said that his father was driving their wagon through the crowded fairgrounds when one of his horses ate the artificial flowers from a lady pedestrian's hat, much to the astonishment of everyone concerned, except Philip Sank Sr. moved from Chestnut Ridge to a farmhouse near Dover Plains. He spent all of his spare time one winter in creating a model farm, complete with a farmhouse, barns, horses, cattle, hogs, sheep, and chickens. Under the auspices of the Dover branch of the Grange, he exhibited the model farm at the county fair at Washington Hollow, the Holler Fair, as some old-timers called it, where it created a sensation. In the days before rapid transportation was available, there were 3 county fairs each summer in Dutchess County. In this way, many more people were enabled to travel a shorter distance to a fair. The fairs were the Amenia Fair, with a racetrack built before 1870, the Washington Hollow Fair, and the County Fair at the Hudson River Driving Park, organized at Poughkeepsie on April 19, 1879. In this era, the exciting horse races were the sensational events at the fairs. Such horses as Dan Patch, Lady Thorndale, Nellie Bly, and Mambrino Chief thrilled the spectators as they won race after race. The purses were high also. The judges had to be alert. Some men who had fast-trotting horses dyed their hair a different color so that they would not be recognized. Then they entered these horses in races scheduled for slower horses. Of course, they won the races and the money. However, if the deception was discovered, the men were forbidden to enter horses in any race after that. As automobiles and buses became available, the Amenia Fair was discontinued. Later, the Washington Hollow Fair, the state police barracks occupy a part of the site today, was moved to the Hudson River Driving Park, where it flourished for many years. Eventually, the park was sold to make room for a housing development in Poughkeepsie. The next home of the Dutchess County Fair was at Springbrook Park, Rhinebeck, New York, and there the fairgrounds are today in 1981. The fair has grown with the years. It has become educational and entertaining. Organizations have exhibitions there. The Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts each have a booth there. Manufacturers of farm machinery display the latest time-saving machines. Housewives can see the latest electrical appliances, which are useful to them in their housework, and so on. Famous bands entertain the spectators. There are horse shows and races, auto shows, and races too. At a recent fair, the famous white stallions from Vienna danced to the amusement of everyone. It is a wonder that with all these things going on at the fair, the individual has not been crowded out. In 1974, Mrs. Josephine Mosier, an energetic housewife living in Pleasant Valley, entered cutwork and embroidered tablecloth, towels, and knitted cardigan in the fair. The entrance fee in some categories was 20 cents, and in others 50 cents. Mrs. Mosier has entered some of her handwork in each fair since 1974 and has won 16 awards in the form of 8 blue ribbons, first prizes, and 1 white ribbon special award. It has given her great satisfaction and made her very happy. It has also been an encouragement to other women to make beautiful things for their homes and families. From its simple beginning, the country fair has been an educational joy to many thousands in Dutchess County.